my boy, Johnny Storm. Oh shit, Spider-Man, what's good? Didn't just go through America. Fucking Avengers movie in a year and a half?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to spin this shit that quickly? Where is Shang-Chi? Where is Kate Bishop? Like the 5th episode of this Dick and Balls anime actually made me cry. Made me cry human tears. Let me paint a little
Describe to us how Airbender ends. Prove you know how the Airbender ends. No, I'm just kidding.
Too long. I'm just gonna paint the picture for you of what happens after that before I get into the Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the To Be Determined podcast, as we have yet to determine a name. But today we are joined by one of the founders of this program, my buddy J-Fo, Jonathan Foster. Say hi to the party. Say hi to the people.
What's up, all?
Hey.
Good to be here after a long time of preparation and talks and ideas and yeah.
We've been at this shit. Me and him, we were talking about getting a pod done together for like a decade, just about. Like since I was a teenager. So, you know, we finally are really glad to get this shit off the ground and get it rolling. You know?
With all the movie knowledge and music and games, anime and whatnot stuff to talk about.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself. You know, what's the media that inspired you? What's your background with it?
So, when I was a kid, I was thankful to get introduced to Star Wars at a young age from my uncle.
I'm also going to spark this doink.
Yeah, let's spark that. Let's go to space.
Speaking of Star
Hit
Wars.
me up. Hit me a hit. Light it, Chewy. But, punch it, Chewy. Blunt it, Chewy. But now my uncle took out a toy lightsaber in a Chicago mall, and the scene in The Empire Strikes Back where Vader is in that nightmare sequence where Luke is pretty much tripping out or whatever. And,
having an ayahuasca flashback on Dagobah.
Yeah, it pretty much cuts off his head. First time I've ever seen anyone's head get cut off in anything. I'm like, whoa. And then it blows up and it's Luke's face. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? But I loved what that fucking shiny fucking colorful sword was. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's a lightsaber.
So that was sort of your I'm into film now.
That. And Indiana Jones. So George Lucas, basically, Steven Spielberg, and then later, around high school, I got into more writing stuff like Quentin Tarantino, Paul Thomas Anderson, David Fincher, and
I'm a big Fincher guy, so I feel
that. Seven's coming out next month for its 30th, for its 4K, the IMAX.
We gotta hit that. We gotta hit that.
A lot of 30th coming around now.
I only saw 7 for the first time this year.
Yeah, I know. Fucking 1994 is the 30 years since one of the greatest years in movie history.
Yeah, 94 is probably top 3. I know 2011 was crazy. 2012 was crazy.
2014.
2019 went fucking stupid. That was the year you had Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Endgame, fucking all kinds, Marriage Story, even Jojo Parasite.
God.
Fucking no, that year was nuts.
It was wild, and then everything went in the dark, and then Dune saved cinema. And Oppenheimer.
Dune 2 was movie of the year, and it's not going to win a single Oscar.
It's not. You got all these other movies they're trying to forward out for. What the hell is Amelia Perez? I've never heard of that movie. What's all these Apple movies?
We got to give it a chance. Apple clearly has some weird pull.
Apple needs to fucking release their movies on physical.
They win so much shit, and it's so confusing. Coda won Best Picture, and I was like, how the fuck did that?
Who watched it? Streamers? Because it didn't even get released in theater. I've never seen it.
Really
I can't
weird.
watch it because
really,
I don't have
really
Apple.
Weird. There's some bullshit going on behind the scenes right
Oh
there.
yeah.
But anyway, though.
But I just think and breathe and live movies. I was just watching fucking Casablanca on 4K, and I'm watching a movie every other day. It's comfort food. And
The way me and you actually met each other in real life. We knew each other on Facebook before we knew each other in real life, and we met each other at a screening of Pulp Fiction.
Yes, which was
Springdale
around
18. So our
Yes.
friendship has always been tied into that mutual love of like Tarantino and shit like that. Uh, Goes back a long way. I've known you since I was like 13.
Yeah, it was around 2011, 2012, and I believe 2012 was the 20th anniversary of Reservoir Dogs, and that same week they were doing like a special screening of Pulp Fiction for that, and then so we got me and a bunch of my friends out, and our mutual friend of ours got us together, and that was
Yes,
still one
sir.
of the best nights of my whole life.
Oh yeah.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
And it's been a lot of shit ever since. We've seen good movies and bad movies.
Oh
all
yeah,
sitting
there
in
was back when
theaters together.
yeah, God.
I'll never forget After Earth. I'll never.
Oh, After Birth. Oh my God.
Jaden, I love you, but what the fuck,
Back
man?
when we thought Jade Smith was like, what the fuck is this guy? And now he's actually decent. He's actually
I
he's
mean,
come
yeah,
a long
no,
way.
yeah. I
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
I fuck with him and Willow heavy.
Yeah.
I saw
Now,
me and you saw
before
Willow
we move
earlier
on,
this year.
yeah, no. Before we move on a little bit, though, I do
Mhm.
want to say though, J-Fo,
Yeah.
you be shorten it right there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, bet, cool. No, I just want to say that like I am excited that you guys birthed this whole idea together because I know you weren't here for like test episode and
Oh,
episode one, but I did mention in there that I'm excited to really dive more into different areas of the pop culture world that I feel as if, thank you, um, I've kind of like slipped out of a bit, you know. I've fallen off of like Marvel movies a bit.
Me too.
I feel
Not
like
because
everyone
like
has.
well, yeah, at this
I
point,
think
but
we
like
all have.
I need to catch up a bit too at the same time, you know.
Yeah, you're not missing a lot, but
And
you got time to catch
I
up.
feel like I've only just recently started to dive into like how much I do actually like film and cinematography. So I've been trying to dive into movies and things of that nature. So nah, I'm gonna just like shorten it all up to I'm looking forward to learning from both of you
Oh fuck yeah,
and
dog.
in this
Yeah,
experience
absolutely,
and what this
man.
is about to be. So yeah, nah.
You actually
now we
gave me a
can-
good jumping off point there. Because speaking of Marvel movies, there was some news recently that Chris Evans, famous for playing Captain America in the other Avengers movies, is going to be back in Avengers Secret War. Now, this is coming off of the heels of they already announced Robert Downey Jr. was coming back in a different capacity than normal, but it raises the question of like, it hasn't even been a decade. Haven't really had time to miss these guys. And
I mean, that
is it
true.
too soon to be getting the band back together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's early to be nostalgia mining. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where Phase 4 was such a wreck, and the Jonathan Majors thing threw them so far off base that this is like too quick of a course correction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that
If you
even
wanted
with
to
slipping
play-
off and being kind of from the outside looking in, I mean, I can even agree with that. Like,
If you wanted to play devil's advocate, you could say that they're giving people what they kind of wanted in the first place anyway, like with Doctor Doom and Secret War and everything. That's kind of where people logically thought this was going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think
Phase
we thought
4
that
is
was gonna
such
be Phase
filler
4.
at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
It is. And, like after Endgame, it's like, what do we do? What are we going to come out
milk
with?
the
And I
cow?
think the first thing that came out after Endgame with like COVID happened, and then Black Widow was supposed to come out that year in 2020, and it came out in 2021 or something, I think. And from then on, like something was up. Like this movie didn't feel complete. It felt like this is not continuing Marvel. This is like, oh, let's just go back to another how this happened.
well, something people forget about is
Yeah.
that James Gunn got fired. Like, right when
Yeah.
Endgame was coming out, and he was supposed to be the architect of Phase 4.
He
Like,
was.
Guardians 3 was supposed to be the first thing after Endgame, and then
That's
he
right.
gets fired. They can't find anyone else to do Guardians 3 because nobody wants to fucking steal his baby.
No.
And so they have to redirect all of Phase 4. They do WandaVision because they have that loaded up
Yeah.
in the tank already.
Right.
Black Widow gets pushed back. Guardians 3 gets kicked down the line
All
like
the way to,
fucking 3
what,
years.
2023.
Yeah.
Thank
Damn.
God. he
And
was
James
good.
Gunn gets hired by the fucking competition, gets hired to lead DC Studios, and that shit's going well. Like they got
Yeah,
a Superman movie coming out next year, and people are excited for it. Creature Commandos is
Oh,
out and it's fucking
no.
good.
Now I will say
That's
21.
crazy how that worked out.
I
And it's
gotta
one of
give
those
him.
things where DC has momentum and Marvel's lost all of its momentum, and it all traces back to that stupid ass decision of firing James Gunn over old tweets.
Old tweets of like, yeah, they were kind of creepy, but they're jokes. And now, like with this cancel culture
Oh, we
getting
can't be
crazier
canceling
and
people over
crazier,
some dark humor.
like they canceled James Gunn, and then Disney brings him back, like,
And
and
it
then
got
they
even
scrape
more,
it off like
and
it
it
was
got
nothing.
even more off the rails because they decided in Phase 4, oh, we're gonna build everything around Kang and around Jonathan Majors,
Yeah,
and then he turns out to be a dipshit, and so now they have to throw him out and redirect all over again, and now we're supposed to get a fucking Avengers movie in a year and a half.
yeah.
How are we supposed to spin this shit that quickly? Where is Shang-Chi?
Well, that's what I was about to
Where
say.
is Kate
Where
Bishop?
is Shang-Chi? Like,
Where is Moon Knight?
where,
Where it, none of these
where's the
character
Black
stories
Knight
have
from the
anything
end
to
of?
do with
Where are the
each other.
Eternals?
Fucking
know,
dead,
yeah.
fucking dead, fucking non-canon,
I
fucking
felt
non.
like they're asleep because I fell asleep.
And really, like, we had a whole year just now where we basically didn't have a single Marvel project come out. You know what I mean? We had
Which
Deadpool,
is actually crazy after the
It's
last
refreshing.
decade and
I was
stuff,
okay
right?
with
but
just
it
one
also
Deadpool.
means that the next thing that comes out, which I think is Cap 4, has a shit ton of pressure on it.
Mhm.
Like, if Cap 4 sucks, people are just gonna give up. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
got to do a lot of heavy lifting of getting an Avengers team set up, starting our transition towards Secret Wars and everything. It's got to be a good movie in its own right. It's got to get Sam Wilson over as the new Captain America. And this is a movie that's been reshot over and over again.
Yeah.
That's been rewritten over and over
They
again.
apparently took out WWE superstar Seth Rollins out of an entire role. Like, I have no idea why. I think he would have been a great addition to that. But
It's
they got
just-
Giancarlo, so
Yeah, it's. And I don't know who the fuck Giancarlo is even
he's
supposed
like
to
a
be playing.
yeah. He's
like
like
I don't
someone part of the
recognize that
Serpent
character.
Society. I don't.
Some
Another
fuck-
fourth.
some fucking D-list
D-
superhero
yeah, that's-
again that
yeah.
nobody's fucking heard of. Oh my god.
Now Shang-Chi was a D list, but they turned him into about a B. Like,
Yeah, it might be one of those things where this shit doesn't really get back on track until Fantastic Four comes out. Because
Yeah.
that's something that they filmed after they decided, okay, this shit isn't working. You know what I mean? That's going to be their big, like, this is our new direction kind of movie. And I love the cast for that fucking
Yeah,
movie. Let
I'm
me
okay
just
with
say.
the girl from Ozark as the female Silver Surfer. Like, as long as we get Norin Rad, the
I-
male Silver Surfer, that's all I want.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something about that?
Yeah.
If you're a person who bitches about like a character being cast as a different race or even a different gender, like legitimately just get the fuck over it. Like
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah,
from
I mean-
from the bottom of my heart, it's not something worth getting up in arms about. Okay?
Yeah.
Like Snape being black is not gonna
Yeah.
ruin your fucking life.
That one,
okay.
like, the Harry Potter thing's a whole other. That'll be an episode. Once
And the
once
thing
that
is-
comes around,
the
that'll be
thing
a
Well,
whole.
that's gonna
man.
be a series of episodes,
They're
but
they're doing
There's
10. They're
Black
doing
Britons.
7 seasons.
There's
yeah,
Black
people act like
Britons.
black
And the
British
thing
people don't
is-
exist.
The thing is too, is like, and I'm Jamaican. Like I know I know at least a little bit, and I know that Jamaican slaves, a good chunk of them were brought from there, from Britain. That's why
Yeah.
our accents are very similar. Like when you really like break it
Yeah,
down,
the fucking
that's kinda
transatlantic
close.
trade
It's
slave
like-
didn't just go through America.
that's my piece on that. Like I'm sure any of these characters can be black. There's black characters already in Harry Potter. Damn it! Like any of them could be black.
Yeah. You know,
Y'all
I
don't fuck
really
with
liked
Kingsley
Halle Bailey
Shacklebolt?
as the Little Mermaid. I will say she was fantastic. She was fine, and people fucking went off, and I'm like, this is terrible.
It's
Give
getting
her
to the
a
point,
chance.
It's getting to the point where a black person literally cannot get cast in fucking anything. How to Train Your Dragon remake got a bunch of bullshit because they
God.
cast a black girl as Asgard. It is a fictional Viking girl who has a pet dragon. Who fucking cares?
Just go watch the other
It-
movie.
It
if you're
doesn't
so
take place in
bitchy.
real life Scandinavia, for one. It doesn't.
And like, I'm for one. I don't think we need a How to Train Your Dragon live action
don't
already. Just
think
like
we-
Moana.
But
It's hard.
but
Yeah.
bruh, Tooth looks so cute.
He looks great. He looks fine. He looks just like he
He
did
looks
in the
cute in the
movie.
original. Just
Yeah,
watch the
they just
fucking original
copy and
one.
paste. Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like look. I said this before. I loved Aragon as a kid. All right. I've always wanted
That's
a
a
damn
series.
pet dragon.
That's a
I feel like we
series they
I
need
feel
to
like we
work on.
covered this in one of the other 2 episodes, but I've already said I don't fuck with live action remakes of animated content on concept, like on
Yeah.
principle.
Aragon was never animated.
Well, Aragon's
like,
different, but I'm saying
you
like the
know,
How to Train
we
Your
just,
Dragon
like a
example.
Scrap the original Aragon, make a whole new
They
one.
need
hit
to
the
work
other
on
books.
Aragon because Aragon the movie like flopped back in the day, but they could easily. I have a friend that has read
part
all
of
those
why
in
it
the new book
flopped-
that came out. They could easily make a series.
Wait. A new book came out because I read
A
all the
couple
other
years
books
ago, they
too.
came out with like the last one or something. I could be wrong. I have very little knowledge.
I'm gonna have
of this,
to
but I have
look
a very
into
close
this.
friend that
Actually,
loves
The
that
wait,
reason
that's
the
why
old
I put
Aragon
this
movie
here.
flopped
I'm
is because
looking
it was
into
bad.
things.
What's
I
that?
wanna
Oh yeah.
I wanna see about this new Aeron. I don't know what the
Aragon. I believe there was. Yeah. Again,
no
did not read these,
Even
but I have
if
a very close friend that read like just bought the latest one. But
because
I feel that's a
definitely
series,
excites me.
just
I would
like God,
definitely
what
read another book.
like the House of the Dragon, where they can make something
No,
very
no,
unknown.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They
There's
did?
another book last year,
Fuck yeah,
bro.
Hey, sometimes I know books too.
We know how to
Bruh.
read.
November 7th, 2023.
Man, I went through Dune. I'd use the audiobook.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me tell you, I prefer audiobooks like in general, just because I be doing other shit and I like having it on in the background.
Bro, it took
Like,
me
it's just
3 years
easier.
to get into the Dune lore. Like, what are they talking
Honestly, I
about?
don't even think I knew about Inheritance, the 4th book. I read the first 3 then.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Have you seen Dune, Samad?
I have not.
Oh.
The hell,
I'm not.
Dude.
I look, I know this is just
fucking guy.
every week you got to challenge me to like watch a movie.
Yeah, nah, I've been
Oh,
I've
man.
been trying to
Dune
get
1
you to
and 2.
I've been trying to get you to fucking read Boruto for like 2 years.
If we're talking cinema sci-fi experience, Dune 1 and 2 is the best thing I've seen in my 30s and maybe like half of my 20s because
It's the
I
only
love Star
it's the
Wars.
only sci-fi thing in my lifetime that compares to Star Wars.
Right. I remember when you first saw Dune, you said it was like the best sets you've ever seen. And like I'm so glad it came out at a time in your age because like you got to experience this amazing new sci-fi that wasn't Star Trek, that wasn't Star Wars. Let's finally get another series out there. Like everyone's getting.
Something
I'm a little
that's,
Star
like,
Wars
new
now.
and refreshing for like our age group and
It's
Yeah,
one of those
I'm
things
so
where I
happy.
feel like
Okay.
our generation is just craving for like. It sucks because we don't get our own stories. You know what I mean? We get the
Yeah,
hand me
we
downs of
definitely
other
living in
things.
the
We get
world of
remakes.
reboots
That's
and
why the
remakes
remakes
and-
bother me, is because
Yeah.
we're not giving new stories opportunity to shine because we're so scared of anything failing that we only invest in things that are already proven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
That's why I like A24 and Neon and some of these small studios. They're growing. They're getting like we
Yeah,
got
he's-
some great films that have come out in the last
He's
5
already
years.
been hyping A24 on a previous episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I def was like I still gotta I keep doing the shitty thing of like starting to watch a movie after I've had my whole day working, doing schoolwork, maybe working on some music on the side, dealing with the kids, putting them to bed, and then like gaming a little bit, and then just being like, all right, look, I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna throw on this movie on the iPad while I fall asleep. That's where I keep fucking up. And so I still need to finish everything everywhere all at once.
Oh,
But
Let me tell you, dude, I understand because
That's-
I have fallen asleep twice now trying to watch The Lighthouse. The
that's
see,
that's
that's on
not
the
a
list and
nighttime
I need to
movie.
watch
You know,
it.
I've
Yeah,
fallen
no,
asleep to
no.
Lighthouse even.
I
bourbon.
You
because
fall
of the
asleep
same
in
thing, I
you
fell
fall
asleep
asleep
to
in movie
Midsummer.
theaters.
I've-
I've never seen anybody but
Okay,
you do
wait,
that.
in
Yeah,
the
you've,
movie
you've
theater.
seen
Crazy.
you've seen me fall asleep, right?
Yeah, you fell asleep when we went to see Split. I
That's
was,
right.
I was
I was
looking
not
over while this
Split.
nigga was crawling on the roof and shit, and you were just like,
That's right. Man, I do
Split
remember
is too
that.
crazy to be
I was
falling
pretty
asleep
that
for.
The Witch. I think I fell asleep to Tron Legacy back in the day.
What is
I
what
felt-
is what is the worst movie me and you have seen in
The Other
theaters?
Woman? I challenged you, me, Aaron.
This
And I
is a
think-
fucking Cameron Diaz comedy where her and 2 other women all were sleeping with Jaime Lannister from the Game of Thrones. And then they find out and they John Tucker must die this nigga and like try to ruin his life. And then the movie ends with him like getting hit by a bus and they all live happily
Yeah.
ever after.
It's
What the fuck?
one of the worst, still to this day.
I
one of the worst
I don't
movies.
remember anything that happens in it apart from what I just described.
I just remember awful dialogue, like something that's gone back to the 80s with like, because I've seen some bad 80s romantic comedies that are so fucking outdated. Sorry,
They just
Mom
used to
and Dad,
throw
but-
shit at they used to throw shit at the wall and see what stuck. We barely get comedies financed anymore.
Like,
Yeah, comedy is definitely
I will-
dying. I think that's another reason that Deadpool and Wolverine was like so refreshing too.
yeah,
We were expecting funny.
it was
we
one of the
got funny.
funniest
You see,
Marvel movies. To me,
people
I
who
thought
are like-
almost every joke worked.
People who are like
Yeah,
chronically
yeah.
online hate on that movie just because they're like, "Oh, it's just stupid." but it's like
not like
the movie knows what I respect a movie that knows what it is. It's not trying to be anything more than just be fun and be funny,
Mm-hmm.
and it accomplishes that. If you just
Yep.
go along for the ride with it, it's not trying to change the landscape of the MCU. It's not trying to like rewrite the fucking textbook on how to make a superhero movie
Mhm.
or anything. It's
Right.
just trying to give you Deadpool and Wolverine hanging out. And that's literally what it gives you. For the record, Hugh Jackman could have phoned this shit in. Hugh Jackman could have
really
not given a
could've,
shit.
like,
And he
and-
fucking put it on the fucking
Yeah.
field, man. He was actually acting his ass off when he's yelling
Bro.
at Deadpool in that car.
it was almost a better performance than Logan, which was a actually
Oh,
serious.
I will
that
push
movie-
back on that. No, it
Oh.
ain't. I will push.
No,
I will
mean,
push back on
but-
that.
No,
Keep
the thing
Logan's
is,
name
though,
out your mouth.
Nah,
No.
nah. But like when he's being introduced, when they're introducing Hugh Jackman into the picture, and he's
like the
doing,
different
these
Hugh
different-
Jackmans.
Yes.
Oh,
the
that was
short Hugh
amazing.
Jackman,
Yeah,
the fucking
oh,
one on the
dude.
cross.
That
The
shit
little
was
one.
so hilarious, bro. Like no,
Fucking-
that right there was like just some great acting.
You see, that's
That was
why
just
I'm-
like, all right.
that type of
yeah,
shit is
nah,
why I'm
ready
not
for this.
willing to give
Y'all
up.
ain't even fully like. He's not fully introduced, and y'all just like went this hard for
Mhm.
introducing him.
Mhm.
I'm
Henry
ready.
Cavill showed up.
That was the cavalry.
but that's type of shit right there is why I'm not willing to give up on the MCU yet. Because when we get to Secret War and fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is on screen at the same time as Hugh Jackman Wolverine and the same time as Ryan Reynolds Deadpool and the same time as Captain America Chris Evans and Tom Holland Spider-Man, are you going to tell me that we're not all just going to be
Wait, I
Shitting
can't
a
wait
brick,
for that
like-
Secret Wars uniform for Spider-Man.
Oh,
right?
He's got
I
to be in
can't
the
wait
black.
for
He's
that.
got to be in the black suit.
Bruh.
He's got to be in
Yeah, I
the black
think-
suit.
I think
that
they're
the Secret
hinting.
War is when he gets it in the comics.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man 4 could be when he.
Spider-Man 4 is probably going to be like right coming off the heels of this, the way that like Far From Home was.
Yeah.
I mean, it fit, and that seems
You
to
mean No Way
like
Home.
low key be their ongoing theme and brand with this like era of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ever
I
since
just,
kind of joining them in.
which I
with
mean, I
the-
don't know how I feel about him having to be a huge part of every massive event.
Yeah, he doesn't need. I thought they were going street level
I just
with
want
him.
I just want this nigga to fight Kingpin and hang out with Daredevil and
That's what I'm
Johnny
hearing.
Storm.
It's floating
like-
around that that's what Spider-Man 4 is going to be about.
He needs to interact with the Fantastic Four.
Oh, I think he will.
That's something that I've been waiting on for a long time as
My
a
whole
Spider-Man
life.
fan. Like I used to have an N64 game, the N64 Spider-Man game, and there's a scene in that game where Johnny Storm just comes out and they're just like, "My boy, Johnny Storm! Oh shit, Spider-Man, what's good?" Like you can just tell they're like homies. And then you read the old 60s comics, and when Spider-Man's broke, first thing that he thinks is, "Let's see if I can get a job with the Fantastic Four. I
Yeah.
think they pay good. I think Johnny told me they pay pretty good, so that's his homeboy." And we've
really.
never gotten to see them interact, and
No, that's okay.
it's because the Fantastic Four have always sucked in every
Mhm.
incarnation we've ever had, so they've never had a chance to.
I will
But-
say, when after Deadpool and Wolverine, like they were trending, those two movies were trending, and I gotta say, the first one. They're both like 5 out of 10 movies, but they're kind of damn entertaining in some ways. It was a different time. It
Yeah,
was like a weird, different time for Marvel where you're coming out with all these weird.
5
not
out of
so
10 might be a
good.
little harsh. I
Hmm?
don't even think they're that bad.
Yeah, like fucking yeah, like they bring back. I forgot they bring back Doctor Doom in the second one, and he's just like hamming it up here, and
The rise of the Silver Surfer is low key cool
it
because
is
Larry Fishburne plays Silver Surfer and he's
that
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Johnny Storm, Chris Evans. I've always thought he was good.
He was
in that
yeah.
role.
He's always
Their
him
Reed
and
Richards is fucking perfect.
and the guy who plays the Thing from what the Shield. Yeah, he was a great thing. Jessica Alba was Jessica Alba.
All of the
Alba.
everybody's great except for Doctor Doom and Jessica Alba.
Yeah, the guy who played
Yeah.
Actually, the guy who played Doctor Doom in the
We've
first one. Well, he's the same guy, but
We've never had a really good Doctor Doom.
no. Let's not talk. We won't talk about Fan Four Stick.
Which means, like, are we like wasting an opportunity here by giving this to RDJ? Because, like,
I still think, and this is just a theory. I have a, and if it could be wrong. They're saving the real Doctor Doom for Cillian Murphy. Please, like I'm still hoping
that might be
Cillian.
cope. That might be cope.
Like
I wanted Mads Mikkelsen. I didn't give a fuck that he was in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, they could easily
just let him do it.
Yeah, because they got in fucking what in the new Craven movie they brought back if you Geo4.
Well, that movie already bombed, and they already said
It's already
They
bombed.
already said we're not doing any more.
Let's
of
make it
these.
R-rated. Nope, not gonna work.
It's not only that, but it's just like they didn't get the fucking hint with that shit, dude. The only ones people
Venom.
gave a shit about were Venom, and the reason people liked Venom is because Tom Hardy's really good in that role. That's it.
I heard Venom, the third Venom.
It's not
I heard
because
is
people.
low-key kinda
This is what I
fun.
was worried about when Joker came out. I knew that studios were gonna take the wrong lesson away from it. They aren't gonna think, "Oh, Joker works because it's a complex character study that's well made and well written and well acted." No, they just thought, "Oh, we need to make super villain movies," and so that's how you get Madam Web and fucking Craven the Hunter and all of this bullshit is because they're thinking, oh, if we just make super villain movies, people will go and see it because they like the super villains. But most of these super villains don't work when not paired up against their hero. Like Craven is a perfect example. The only fucking reason Craven is interesting is because he's hunting Spider-Man. If he's not hunting Spider-Man, I don't give a fuck if he's hunting crocodiles or T-Rexes or whatever the fuck he's doing. Yeah, or whatever the fuck he's doing in the movie. I don't care because he's not fighting Spider-Man. Why do I give a shit about Madam Web if she's not interacting with Spider-Man?
That's a movie we got to do a podcast for too. Like
I've never seen that shit. I never got around to that.
My buddy saw it, and I don't know, like, why'd you pay for that? He's like, I just wanted to see how bad it was.
Yeah.
And he
No
was
matter
like,
how bad Marvel's gotten, no one
All
has
I've
ever
heard
looked more
about Madam
clueless
Web
than
was that
Sony.
it was just terrible.
it was useless.
of
No,
money,
who
yeah.
wanted that movie?
Nobody. Some studio executive was like, "We own this character," and so they said, "Let's make."
Slap them in a movie.
Yeah,
Like,
fucking.
let's call up Sydney
ridiculous.
Sweeney and give her one line.
She's popular right now.
Apparently,
yeah.
they have. I've seen some clips. Apparently, there is like only like a 30-second fight scene. There's like no fights in the movie at all.
Man,
Yeah, that sounds about what I heard too. Yeah, it's that.
I feel
it's
like
just
that's
a
something
tease
that's missing
for
from a
the
lot
whole
of these
thing.
movies now. Is like if you go back and you watch Infinity War, that fight on Titan is choreographed like a fucking shonen anime fight. You know what I'm saying? Crazy shit happens during that fight. Not just him throwing the moon and shit, but like the part of the fight where Iron Man like forces the glove to the ground and then comes with like this overhead kick and cuts Thanos' cheek.
Ugh.
That's some really well
That is-
choreographed shit.
No,
You know what
you're
I'm
right.
saying? And we don't have that type of stuff in modern superhero movies.
We
It's
don't.
just they fast forward the punching and the kicks. The last time I remember a superhero movie that had really good combat in it was Shang-Chi. Because that's a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You need
Even a
it to
really
be
good
solid
movie
with
like The
that.
Batman
Yeah.
doesn't have really good dynamic fight scenes in it.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
couple.
He's kind of beating the shit out of people,
Yeah.
but it's not like he's being challenged with fisticuffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still gotta watch the Batman, but like
Oh.
even going back to
haven't even
the
seen the
trilogy.
Batman?
Nah, not yet. But like going back to like the trilogy, I thought those were really good, especially in like showing off some combat, hand-to-hand combat.
Which trilogy? The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it
Like
gets
Batman
better
Begins
throughout the
is- well,
series because it's pretty
Batman
bad in
Begins
Batman
especially
Begins.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
super
like a
shaky
little
quality.
draining, but I guess we could have seen more. But yeah, like you said, kind of throughout the series as we go, it definitely gets a little bit better there.
Gold standard for this shit is the Raimi Spider-Man movies, because even like
I mean,
Spider-Man
yeah.
3, you've got shit like him putting Sandman's face on the fucking
Oh
train.
man, the
Nah,
action.
And you've
yeah,
got-
that's
all
definitely
three are
that's
very
setting the
good.
bar.
You've got that
even
whole
with
fight
today's
with
standards, I
Harry
would
when
say
he's
that
not
the
even in the
Raimi
costume
series
and he's
is
fighting
setting
him in
the
that
bar.
alleyway and throwing the bombs back at him and shit.
Oh yeah,
All of that's really well
I
done too.
remember NBC showed that. Like, remember the show Heroes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They
I was
showed-
thinking about that
I
show the
love
other day
Heroes.
because
Bro,
I remember as a kid
season
thinking that
1.
Japanese dude who had the power to stop
Oh,
time and
God.
fast forward time.
Yatta!
Hello, New York!
I love
He was amazing.
That power
Ah.
was sick as fuck. Why is
It
there not a
really was.
hero, like a normal superhero who has that power? Bro's got the fucking Zach Morris
Bro,
pause
season
I
power.
want
one
to
of
watch
Heroes
Heroes again.
is some of the best
that
television.
show suffered from
It did.
The
the
writer
writer's
strike
strike.
killed
Oh,
that
yeah.
show.
2000, what was that? 7, 8. Like,
A
2006,
bunch of
7,
shows
yeah, yeah.
died to the writer's
Died
strike.
to
It's
that.
it's a
Oh,
fucking
and there's
miracle
another
Lost
one, too.
survived.
Yeah.
The reboot of Bionic Woman died to the writer's strike.
Pushing Daisies
Yep.
died to the
They,
writer's
they
strike.
also Heroes Reborn. They made another one.
Died to a more recent writer's strike.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
before it really even got to be birthed. And it's just like, well, like I guess they did do a couple of kind of iterations of Heroes in between. But like
Yeah. I
it's
like.
not the same as those first 2 seasons
No.
of Heroes. And it's just like
Low key,
you
that's a
just
shit.
see
Low
and
key,
feel
that's a
how
show
hard it
that
goes
really
downhill
needs a
after that.
reboot. That's a show that
It-
really
it
could
could
use a
use a
reboot in
reboot.
modern day. You put that shit on streaming. Disney probably owns the rights since they own what was it on
Everything.
Fox? Was it on Fox or ABC?
You
Because they own
said
both of those.
everything.
Not yet.
Everything.
Not yet.
Who
They gotta
wants
buy
to play
Sony
Monopoly,
first.
folks?
They gotta
took
buy
my-
Sony and Warner
It
Brothers
took
first.
a beard for a reason.
Let me tell you, because let me tell you, because Sony's gonna get sold off. Sony's
No,
not.
Sony's been
Their whole
racking in
studios,
some
their whole
shit.
studio's not
Coca-Cola.
gonna get sold off, but eventually they're gonna have to sell the rights to Spider-Man, and that's like their big money maker. And then Warner Brothers is fucking actively dying.
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
So like they're hemorrhaging. They're bleeding out on the fucking ground. It's bad. And they're gonna have to sell their shit. And I don't want to live in a world where Disney owns Bugs Bunny. I know. That would just be fucking sacrilegious. You know?
Their packaging sucks too. I got like 3 different 4Ks last week.
And it
One of
sucks
them I had a
because
Singing in the Rain copy. It was like a shaky disc, and I was like, "Fuck you, Warner Brothers."
It sucks because Max is like a good app, but they just keep fucking taking everything off of there.
Yeah.
Like it's a good app in comparison to a lot of the other streaming apps. Like Peacock fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Using Apple TV sucks. Netflix stays good, but they're like the gold standard.
Yeah.
Hulu sucked, and then they just rolled it over into Disney Plus,
Yeah,
which
that
is mean.
Realizing that one day during a login was like kind of like, wait, what?
No, I went on one day. I went on Disney Plus, and fucking Family Guy was like the first thing. I was like, oh, okay.
Said, oh, you live here now.
It's nice being able to watch all my anime on Disney Plus, basically.
Right.
It's
all
on
in
Netflix.
one.
Netflix has a crazy anime catalog.
There's one that just came. I think you were talking about it. It's like brand new.
Don Da Don?
Yes.
See, everyone's talking about that. I should hop
Samad,
on that while
Samad,
we
do you
wait.
know
Let's not talk
anything
about
about Don Da Don?
Not at all. Not a single damn thing. And I feel like
Can I
I should
give
hop
you-
on that one while it's fresh.
Can I give you
It's
the
like-
back of the manga synopsis really quick?
I feel good. I'm a week ahead of you in Daima, only because of circumstances.
You know what, man?
So
Well, can
I
I
need to
give you-
hop on
Can I
something.
give you the skinny on Don Da Don just real quick?
Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's run it.
Okay. There's this
Anime
girl. There's this girl named but you can have fun with that. There's this girl named Momo Ayase. She's a somewhat popular girl at her local Japanese high school
Okay.
who is unable to find love. She
You
is,
said her name's
unlucky in
Momo?
love. Momo Ayase. Yes.
Okay.
We call her Miss Ayase in this house.
Type shit.
All right. She one day meets this boy named Okarun. We're calling him Okarun for now, okay?
D-
That's what she calls him.
All right.
Anyway,
so we'll
anyway,
take the pet name. All right.
He's a boy who is interested in aliens, and she is a girl who believes in ghosts. They start beefing because they're like, "That's bullshit. Why do you believe that dumb bullshit?" And he says, "Okay, go to the." He says, "Okay, you go to this place where aliens have been sighted." And she says, "Okay, you go to this place that's supposed to be haunted." Okay.
All right.
She gets abducted by aliens, and he gets attacked by a spirit. The spirit, follow me here. The spirit takes
It
away
just
his.
reminded me of something from earlier. That's all.
The spirit takes away his dick and balls. Okay.
Oh, I gotta watch this.
Ken doll, no dick and balls. Okay. The girl gets abducted by aliens that essentially try to molest her.
This is so fucked. I'm listening.
The boy, now possessed with the power of the ghost that stole his dick and balls, fends off the aliens. And when his life is threatened, the girl unlocks her psychic powers that she gets from ghosts because her grandma is a spirit medium.
But she didn't.
Her grandma.
I swear to God,
No.
it was that close to home the whole time.
No, yeah. And they fend off the aliens, and then it becomes a love story / action story about them fighting ghosts and aliens trying to get his dick and balls back. Okay?
It's all about the dick and balls in the end.
Yes, because it turns out his dick and balls are like a source of magical power that both the aliens and the ghosts want to
Balls to
possess.
rule them all.
It is what it is. I mean, it is. Dude.
To caress and stroke.
How many episodes are in this right now?
There are like 8 episodes of this.
Bro, it's on
like
par with
200
Daima right
chapters of manga.
and 200. Oh man! All right, look. No, we're
This
hopping
story
in.
gets so
we're
much
hopping into the
crazier.
Dick and Balls adventure. All right, now let me tell you, because
Samad, you want to know what's even crazier?
What's up?
You want to know what's even crazier?
Magical Dick and Balls.
Like episode. You want to know what's even crazier than that? Like the 5th episode of this Dick and Balls anime actually made me cry. Made me cry human tears. I'm not fucking with you in the slightest.
But not like in the laughter.
Not laughing. Not wasn't a damn thing funny. Wasn't a damn thing funny about the shit I was crying at.
And I'm crying.
Brother, this shit got so serious so fast. Brother, when I tell you, I could not recommend this anime more. I fucking love Dan. And I ship Momo Ayase and Okarun like I have never shipped 2 characters in my life. I will be upset if they do not end the story together.
It sounds like I'm definitely hopping on board to the Dan. Is that how we pronounce it? Dan.
That's what I go with. I don't know if that's right.
Dan.
The theme song goes like dun 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 dun. It's a good theme song. I didn't sing it well.
All right.
I'm
looking forward to some Dan.
Anime's in a pretty good place right now, which I think is a good transition into our next main topic.
What would that be?
Which is the leaks that happened recently from Avatar Studios.
Oh.
Avatar Studios is the company that was founded by the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender when they broke off from the Netflix live action series.
Right.
I here, big Avatar guy, got the Fire Nation tatted on my fucking hand.
Represent.
My boy Samad here has watched the whole series, but you have not.
Not the whole thing, but I watched it while I was a kid, and when it came to Netflix a couple years ago, I got through like 2 seasons, so I have a good, general knowledge.
Will you and any other audience members that are unfamiliar with the series are about to get spoiled on some things?
Well, wait, were you watching the animation when it came to Netflix, or were you watching the live action?
I didn't watch the live action. I haven't watched the live action at all. I've
so
seen the shitty Shyamalan one.
If you ever feel like getting caught back up, both series are just on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely recommended it, especially like in adult age. Like,
I never watched
Airbender with being able to really soak in, especially like some of the like latter lessons. as an adult,
Here's
it
my thing with
translates in
Avatar.
such like a beautiful way, especially if like you do happen to be into like meditation and things of that
Oh
nature,
yeah, I
like
love
the
meditation.
chakras during the whole like guru session towards the end, and like things like end of second season or like somewhere in the third.
Season
No,
2 of
yeah,
Avatar's
that
peak.
second season in there when he's trying to do it and then he gets closed up, bro. It hits.
But
Like, go on.
it's spinning off of what you said. Seeing the series as an adult is a trip because I never watched the entire show as a kid. When I was a kid, I watched up to about like the Jet episode, and then I
Oh,
fell
wow,
off
you
with
were,
it
like,
really hard.
early.
I fell off with it hard. I never finished it.
Yeah,
Damn.
you
And then
got
when
into
I
it
was-
a couple of years ago.
And then a couple of years ago, my sister Layla was getting into it, my younger sister, and I started watching it along with her, and I was like, "This shit is gas. What the hell?" I was
Razzing
like-
out, right?
No, and I watched the whole series all the way through Korra. And to give you the skinny, so you're familiar with the story through the end of Airbender.
Yes.
You know how Airbender ends.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me paint a little
Describe
picture for
to
you.
us how Airbender and prove you know how the Airbender ends. No, I'm
Aang
just
becomes-
kidding.
I'm just gonna paint the picture for you of what happens after that before I get into the leaks, so that you can understand the background here. Okay, Aang dies as like a middle-aged man. Okay, and he is reincarnated as a girl named Korra. Korra is like a master of all four elements from a very young age. She's a prodigy in a way that Aang isn't. Okay, she goes on a big adventure to the big city.
No,
okay?
but like to highlight part of the prodigy part real quick though, like she's literally like 5 years old, 6 years old or whatever. It can already use like 3 out of the 4 elements. Like that's how prodigy.
Yeah, her only
Wow.
roadblock was
Yeah.
airbending.
Yeah.
But throughout the course of her story, basically the whole point of her character is that she kind of fucks up. She's kind of a shitty avatar. Like that's the actual point. Like she doesn't get the spiritual aspect of it. She is
Wow.
more reckless than Aang ever was.
I just want to say, I feel like it's harsh to say she's shitty. Just knowing I'm gonna let you cook.
Let me paint
I'm
a
gonna let
picture
you
for you.
cook,
Let me paint a
but
picture for you. Let me
it's
paint a
harsh.
picture for you. This girl comes to a city that she is not from, that she is unfamiliar with the culture of, and immediately starts sparking division between benders and non-benders, okay? This is in the midst of a terrorist organization popping up in the city that is trying to promote non-benders as the dominant people, led by a guy named Amon who can take bending powers away, okay? Amon is not who he says that he is, and Korra exposes that, but she doesn't handle the situation super well. She picks a fight with this guy that she can't really win, and only ends up beating him through, let's be honest, fucking plot convenience. Season 2 happens, and she gets manipulated by her uncle, a dude named Unalak, okay? Into, and fucking follow me here, okay? Unlocking a portal between the spirit world and the human world that allows for an event called harmonic convergence happens, where this nigga rips the spirit of the avatar out of her body, absorbs it, and becomes a dark avatar.
What?
And then kills the spirit of the avatar in Korra, severing her connection to her past lives. So now
This is what my
Korra,
friends in high school were talking
Korra
about.
cannot talk to Kyoshi. She cannot talk to Roku. She cannot talk to Aang. She cannot talk to any past avatar. Okay, it is
Wow.
reset, which means the next avatar can only talk to her. Okay. Now she beats the dark avatar. Put a pin in that. Put a fucking pin in that. And then goes about her merry way. She gets into a conflict with this guy named Zahir, who almost kills her in the avatar state, which would have ended the reincarnation cycle forever.
He the one that poisoned her.
Yes.
Okay.
He poisons her, her body gets fucked up. To fast forward a little bit, she connects the human and spirit worlds, so now the human and spirit worlds are one. Okay? Spirits are just running rampant through the human world now because of her decision. So
Picture that.
Wow.
The
To-
face stealer guy.
to
just
paint
roaming around.
to paint a picture for you, she has now created a dark avatar, destroyed her connection to the past lives, and unleashed spirits into the human world, okay? Her series ends, and then this is where we get into the leaks now. This is stuff that is the new series, okay?
The live action or the next animation?
The next animated series. Wow. This is the leaks that have come out that tell us where the story goes after that, okay? So buckle the fuck up.
Let's do it.
Some massive cataclysm happens that Korra tries and fails to prevent. She dies trying to prevent this thing, and it causes the fucking apocalypse to happen. The world is now overrun with spirit wilds, and there are only 7 havens of civilization left throughout the whole planet, okay? The new avatar is an earthbending girl who is an amputee. She has 1 leg. And she has a twin. The twin is the reincarnation of the dark avatar that Korra thought she destroyed.
Oh, no.
So now we have a light and dark avatar forever. Let me paint a picture for you, okay? Korra caused the fucking apocalypse and created a reincarnation cycle for a dark avatar. And also, the light avatar can't talk to any of their past lives. Can't talk to Aang or Roku or Kyoshi or any of them for advice. So when you put it all up like that, Korra's the worst avatar fucking ever, right? Because Aang caused 100 years of war. That's bad, right?
He did?
I'm putting that on Roku.
You can blame Roku if you want, but Aang disappeared for 100 years, and that war kept escalating, okay? But he showed back up and he fixed it. Korra caused the apocalypse and immediately died and can never fix it.
Each avatar had their strengths and weaknesses, and it just sucks that whatever they kind of didn't balance in their lifetime kind of falls into the next avatar cycle tenfold. So then that's the main thing they have to focus on. So then the thing that was balanced in the last cycle becomes unbalanced in this cycle, and it just comes like,
Can you give me?
That's why.
Can you give me an example of something Korra did right as the avatar? What did Korra do right? Give me that, and I'll leave the woman alone.
All right, look, I can't give you anything off the top of my head. Maybe in editing, I'll throw in like a paragraph or something right here in freeze frame.
Unless this nigga looks at the wiki page and tries to come up with something. Oh well, she beat the evil White Lotus.
Look, I'm not even. You gotta beat somebody during your I can't.
You know what else she did? She let Kuvira come to power, and then Kuvira discovered fucking nuclear energy and built a giant mech and almost destroyed Republic City.
Look, she struggled. All right, maybe bring in the spirit. No, because no matter how good they try to paint merging the worlds together,
the world is now overrun with spirit wilds, so you can't call it a good thing anymore.
It's not a good thing. It never was. They wanted to paint it as such, and it's not. So I can't really. I don't know if I can give her a point in the good department. Really, it's hard. It's like a stretch to give Korra a point in the good department. I still have to really watch seasons 3 and 4, but even 1 and 2.
Yeah,
you're getting me in trouble. I don't care if I just got spoiled by a bunch. This makes me want to just go binge Avatar, binge Korra, and
let me say,
I'm actually glad.
My indictment of Korra as a character is not an indictment of the series. Okay, I will say season 1 of Korra is some rough going. Season 1 of Korra has some stuff that I'm not.
It's always
a fan
first
of.
season that gets a hard start.
By the time you get to season 3 of Korra, I think season 3 of Korra rivals the peaks of Avatar. I think it's on that same level.
Kind of like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and a little bit.
Yes.
It
starts to feel like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig that.
Yeah, Zahir is like the best Avatar villain. Maybe Azula, but nah, Zahir cooks.
Azula's
built
Well, who was the dickhead guy? and he kind of redeems himself though, right?
Zuko.
Yeah,
Zuko.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, her
That's
brother.
why I got this
Her
tattoo,
brother.
bro. Zuko. A lot of my tattoos, I'm big on characters who are like redemptive
Yeah.
in a way. Like Zuko is a big example. Zuko was never evil. Zuko was a victim of his surroundings
Yeah.
and his
Mhm.
circumstance. Vegeta, you could make a similar
same
case for.
argument,
He was
yeah.
born into a violent warrior culture.
Yeah.
And he never knew anything else. Itachi. Itachi is a person who was just put in a really
Itachi was a
negative
diehard for
situation.
the village,
Mhm.
like, in the
He was
most
like
literal
13
sense.
years old having to make like a decision between do I kill my family or do I let a fucking world war break out? Like that's a crazy position to be put in.
Honestly, I couldn't even.
So it's kind of a
imagine.
motif my tats follow. Not all of them, but
No, that is an interesting thing there. Though.
mm.
Definitely. Huh. Wait. Would you say that Matt from Digimon redeems himself ever? 'Cause you do also have an affinity towards him and Gabumon.
That's right. That's right. He's definitely in that mold. He's definitely in that mold. Fucking. But yeah, I feel like it's interesting because when we were getting back to the topic, when we were talking last time about Avatar,
Mhm.
I brought up the idea of like, the technology evolution is going to be a hard thing for them to deal with because
Right.
Korra from Aang's era to Korra's era, you jump from like feudal Chinese level technology to like 1920s America technology. So like it's a huge technological leap that the world takes between those two eras. And I thought, well, it's going to be stupid if we jump from Korra's era to the next era and it's like computers and cell phones and shit. I didn't want it to be that. They found a way around that by going, let's just
Wait,
make it
yeah.
post apocalyptic. Technology would stagnate. Now we don't got to deal with that problem. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, no, that is a smart direction to take it with that. Oh,
I think it's a interesting little world building exercise. They had to find a way to get around that problem and sacrificed Korra's dignity to get there, but sacrifice. R.I.P. my girl Korra. Shit.
Oh,
Dead at 47. Damn, we can't even make it to 50. Damn.
nah, damn. Wait, she died hella young too.
She died at 47 years old.
Damn.
Asami is
That's
confirmed.
how old she is when
Asami is confirmed alive a decade after the cataclysm, and she is listed at 57 years old. Which means if Korra and Asami are the same age, she died at 47 years old. Which is younger than Aang was when he died, I believe.
Does that make her the new youngest over what was his name? Kura?
Koruk, yeah. I think so.
That's
Like
kinda
Korra
crazy.
is a tragic figure in
Wow.
the Avatar universe now. Like a fucking tragedy. Like just fucked everything up
all right,
and
yeah,
died failing to not fuck it up worse.
All the tradies.
Paul Atreides.
Wait till Dune Messiah.
Brother, I cannot fucking wait.
Oh man.
Yeah, they need
Danny
to.
Villeneuve said he's done after that one, so I don't know if they're
He
gonna
is,
do
and I
the
hope
rest
he
of them.
does something where he merges some of his children of Dune in there because he could. But that's like kind of 10-ish years
much.
later. I don't know. I'm on Children of Dune right now. I'll tell you this: Dune Messiah is the shortest book of the whole series, and it's like feels like almost filler in some way. It's good, but it's like so short. And I'm like, and it shows the outcome of what happened in the last.
You see, it's
book.
interesting because Dune has a similar quality to Avatar in that I think something that makes those stories interesting, and it makes Star Wars interesting too, is there's stories that go over multiple generations.
Mhm.
You're not following the same character all the time. You're following like the evolution of the world that these characters live in. You know what I
No,
mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
In Star Wars, it's like the world gets stuck in this repetitive cycle of governments rising and falling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Dune, it's a cycle of how this one family leads the universe down a dark path. You know what I mean? In Avatar, it's the story of this one person's soul being reincarnated over and over, trying to fix a world that keeps breaking itself over and over again. That's a complex thing for a story to pull off because you risk all the time this generation being weaker or less interesting than the previous one. That's the problem that Boruto can't get past. Is that the cast of Boruto is not as interesting as the cast of Naruto, and it just can't get over that hurdle. You know what I mean?
They
Korra
should have
had
just gave
that.
us Minato.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We'd have been rocking with that so hard.
Korra managed to get around that problem by making like the story more about the villains she interacts with than her main cast of friends. She learns more from her enemies than her friends, whereas Aang was
I would
learning
say
lessons
that's a
from
really
his friends.
interesting. Yeah, that's a good take on that for sure. And then also giving us the lore dump with like the first Avatar and shit. Like I feel like that
Does a
hits
lot
at
for the
good
world
time.
building. Tells
Yeah.
a lot of the story of the greater Avatar universe in a way that Aang's story didn't.
Right.
Last Airbender's a masterpiece, though. Like, wouldn't change a thing. That's why a live-action remake is just silly.
Having 3 seasons.
That's
for
the problem is you
prequels,
keep
it just-
remaking stuff that's already good.
Right.
Remake something that's bad and make it better.
Yeah. Have you watched the Netflix show?
No. I on principle, I didn't want to watch that.
Right.
I watched the One Piece live action. I thought it was
I heard that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, you're not a One Piece guy because that's an enormous fucking commitment. You're not an anime
Oh, I've
guy in
seen
the
like
first
I
place.
used to go when I would go to those anime Ohio
What, you
cons
don't
back
watch
in the
One
day. I had
Piece?
2 friends that hosted these One Piece panels, so I know not general knowledge of One Piece, but a couple different things of like when 4Kids TV censored it between that and like the Funimation. So
yeah.
I like that aspect
He's
of it.
not,
But
a,
that
he's
is
not
like
a shonen guy. He's more
Ah,
you're more
no,
into like
yeah,
80s
more
anime. He's a Cowboy Bebop guy.
Bebop,
He's a Speed
Akira,
Racer guy.
Akira, like fucking. God, I've seen Elfen Lied. That one really fucked with me.
My niggas never even watched Dragon Ball Z.
I've seen a couple episodes, but I've seen Broly the movie in IMAX, but
You see, that's weird to me. I can't imagine watching Broly without any context.
I didn't know.
Without,
I watched it. I thought it was
swear.
cool as fuck. The animation.
no, yeah, I mean that's
Watching
just
Broly take that
testosterone, man.
Kamehameha to the chest. I mean, I feel it. But
Broly is built different.
let me run it back real quick. And we can be on a One Piece journey together.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty early in.
This is part of what we're doing on the pod. We're going to be routinely checking in with him as he makes progress through One Piece
Hell
because he
yeah.
just started it. You could join in the fun.
Hey, I
'cause
heard
he
it.
is only like 15 episodes in.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, have you made any more progress? What's the last thing that happened?
Actually, things have been a little bit strange. So I have not picked up from when we accidentally watched the next episode.
Okay.
So I have to
My man is in Syrup
So,
Village, so it makes
yeah.
sense that he's going slow because that arc is not very good.
well, I did hear he's still not the Monkey King, even like 4,000 episodes in. Or
The
something.
Pirate King.
Pirate King. Did I say Monkey King?
That's fucking Son Wukong, man. That's the
That's
OG. Some respect on his name. All these niggas biting his swag. That's the Monkey King. That's the OG. He's got
No,
9
that-
layers of
I said
immortality,
monkey 'cause
nigga.
His name's Luffy
He's got
D.
9
Monkey. That's what I meant. Sorry.
You know,
I
Son
mean-
Wukong goes to hell just to fuck with the devil. He goes there and he just plays pranks on that nigga because that
Monkey
nigga can't kill him. You know, this Son Wukong had a flying cloud like 1,000 years before Goku did. Like 1,000. You know, Son Wukong is so cold they gave this nigga a PS5 game.
I heard a lot of people stop playing it for some reason.
A lot of people pick up a game for a month and then give it up. That was me with
mean-
That was me with Hogwarts Legacy. I just got bored.
Like that.
I just got bored. Sorry, I
love you
I
so
like Harry
much.
Potter. I just got bored.
It'd
It's
be
a whole
like
lot
that.
of just. It's just clicking the shoot button over and over. Doing fetch quests. Oh, go find 13 chocolate frogs for the herbology teacher. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You know, it was a good Harry Potter game, The Chamber of Secrets for PlayStation 2.
I didn't
It was
have that.
actually
I had,
fucking
I
hard
had
as shit.
Prisoner of Azkaban and I had a CD-ROM.
I had
I had Sorcerer's Stone,
on
CD-ROM.
PS2, and then
Chambers-
Sorcerer's Stone was really
Chamber of
good
Secrets
as well.
was one of the hardest games. One of the first games that made me cry. I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of this fucking cave?
That's how I felt about Prisoner of Azkaban at a couple of points. I cannot lie to you. Like, I was crying at a couple of moments. Like, bro.
I got lost in the library, I remember. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Give me the fucking book, McGonagall. Come on. But no,
No,
there's some great action in that
those
game, from
games
what I recall.
were really good. I might have to revisit those because, like, man, those were great.
Let me tell you, man. I feel like, oh Lord,
Is there water in this?
ladies and gentlemen, we have killed J Foe. It was a good run. This podcast is dedicated to the memory of John Foster.
At least I got to hear GNX before the end.
May angels carry you to the choir eternal. Well, gentlemen, I feel like we have put in some good work here.
Yeah, we have.
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground, and I think that we might be coming to the end of the pod here.
Yeah, looks like it.
Do we have any closing thoughts, John? Is this living up to the dream?
Yeah, this is like
Because everybody got to have a dream, J-Fo.
conversations, new and old, ones that we've brought up in past, and then ones that just come up. I love how I caught this when we were talking about heroes, and it all because I saw in 2007's Hero Season 1 was about to end. They're like, we're about to show you the first 15 minutes of Spider-Man 3. And that's what got me thinking of heroes, because I remember seeing the Pirate Goblin halls, like the alleyway scene. I'm like, this movie's going to be fucking the best Spider-Man movie ever. And we all know how that turned out. But
I just want to put it out there. When I was in 4th grade when that movie came out, and my mom came to school and got me out of school early, lied and told them I had a dentist appointment, and took me to see Spider-Man 3. So I always have really fond memories of seeing that movie specifically. That was one, I remember that
one for that with Iron Man.
That Revenge of the Sith and Pirates of the Caribbean 2 were big formative movies for me, where I saw those in theaters and I was just like, this is the hardest core shit I've ever seen. I thought Pirates of the Caribbean 2 was the best fucking movie ever made when I was like 11 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Around 11. What did I think was like the best shit at that time? And like what? 6th grade?
11? You would have been like 5th grade, I think.
I saw the first Pirates.
First Pirates is the best one.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It still holds up well.
Johnny Depp was nominated for that.
He was nominated for Best Actor. That's another actor. Never won an Oscar.
You see, Johnny Depp missed his window, because if Johnny Depp was going to win, it was what all has he been nominated for?
Fuck.
He was nominated for
I think I could think
Sweeney
of a movie
Todd.
I was obsessed
He was nominated
with
for
at
Pirates.
Big.
Finding
Neverland.
Finding Neverland. Honestly, none of the things he's been nominated for he could have realistically won. Because I know some other shit came out all of those years.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't going to win for Sweeney Todd.
No.
Like,
he was so fucking good in that, but...
He was good in Black Mass, and they didn't even nominate him.
Oh my god, I just watched that. I actually just watched it.
It's fucking good.
Underrated fucking movie. No one talks about it.
It's called Black Mass. He plays this guy who was like a FBI informant and a gangster.
Whitey Bulger.
And he was he did a lot of prosthetics to make himself look like the guy, and he was really good in the role.
Yeah.
But he didn't get nominated for anything because around that time was when all of the like controversy around him started coming out,
like
about him being an
2015.
alcoholic and getting in fights with Amber Heard and shit. This is before all the the lawsuits and shit, but it's when the shit was happening. Like,
gotcha.
Damn. Johnny Depp is one of those guys where, man, his fall from grace is really crazy, because I remember when I was a kid, he was one of the people listed in Entertainment Weekly, had this list of the most influential people in Hollywood. And he was number 1 on that list because they were like, he's the biggest star in the fucking world. You know what I mean? And he just let it all destroy him for a while there. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was until he got away from him. From what I understand, he's like doing better.
Yeah.
But he's kind of poisoned. Like, studios aren't looking for him to do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is definitely.
He's gonna need, like, he needs another Pirates movie or some shit
to
make Hollywood forgive him. You know.
Come back with that Brendan Fraser Oscar comeback.
Something like that. Him having a big comeback role and winning an award would be the ideal situation, but he needs someone to take a chance on him, and I don't know if anyone's gonna do that.
Just give us our annual summertime movie. Hell, that's what Lindsay Lohan's doing with Christmas. She's taking over.
Yeah, they're doing Freaky Friday too.
I heard a rumor that she's joining the MCU, and people don't know as who, but that would just be a weird stunt casting.
I heard Taylor Swift was supposed to be in Deadpool and Wolverine as like Starlight or something. Not Starlight.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
But seeing Taylor Swift and that would have been
that would have been too fourth wall shattering.
She's best friends with Blake Lively. I remember hearing those rumors, people freaking the fuck out. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Thank God they didn't.
But
yeah, we had an extra little preamble there, but we are gonna be wrapping things up here. J Fo. Excellent to have you through, man.
Absolutely,
Excellent to get your inaugural pod in.
This is the real first pod, honestly. Like,
and
we did a test one a while back.
We lost all of our fucking
there's a lost episode out there, guys, that you'll never see except the first 10 minutes.
I don't even know what the fuck we talked about. I don't know what the fuck we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about. I remember we talked about. You had a hot take on Goodfellas, and I remember I was like, "Whoa." That's about it.
Yeah, I don't think Goodfellas is a.
Save for
we'll get into it another time. Like, I have thoughts.
Top 5 gangsta movies.
Thought though, I want to know, what do you guys think? So at some point, once probably have to open up some more USBs. This could get cut or whatever the case, or we could leave it as like the little closing thing. But if I can also get my keyboard plugged in, I could create a little drum thing and use the drum pads for sound effects. For like intro time.
Oh yeah.
Like soundboard would go hard.
Soundboard would be incredible. Right. That's a good way to use it.
So I was thinking about that in the non.
Our man Cooks, you'll see he's good with the edits.
Nice.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for you for the evening. I have been your host, Nick Swisher, here with my boys Samad Terrell Thompson, Jonathan Foster, J Fo in the building. This is the To Be Determined podcast, and we'll be with you at another date to be determined.
I like it. To be determined. Right.
This is us signing out.
Peace.
That's a wrap, y'all. Hey.
We fucking did it, man. Fuck yes. Oh my God.
Some great headphones.